Hey y'all, it's me, Sherilyn. Welcome back. If you've been here before, this is Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead, and if you're new, hey y'all, welcome. Listen, today I wanted to bring you guys around while I piddle in the garden. I'm going to be fertilizing my garlic and onions, and I'm going to be planting some tomatoes, and we're just going to piddle around, and I'll show you a few little things that are going on. So come along. I got my garlic back in October. I put it in the refrigerator to mimic a winter. I got soft neck garlic, and that's the best for South Florida. So if you put your garlic in your beds, if you're in a colder climate, and the late fall, then they go through winter, and in spring, when the days start getting longer, they're growing, they're producing great. So here in South Florida, I don't have a real winter, so I have to put them in the refrigerator for 6 to 8 weeks. So I planted them out the day after Christmas. I amended the soil with this. Let me show you this. This is just a bag from Epsoma. It is organic composted chicken manure. It's granules like this. And I just sprinkled that all over the bed and worked it into the top inch or two of the soil before I planted them. And then I came back about a month later and I sprinkled some of that in between. Today I'm going to be using a liquid fish fertilizer, fish emulsion. This is fish and kelp. This is from GS Plant Foods, and I got this on Amazon. It's 1 gallon, and this is a concentrate, and you seriously just put a cap full of this into your watering can, fill it with water, and go. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay. I'm going to give it a good shake. Whew, it's stinky. Pour a capful in here. It's really stinky. I'm also seeing a little bit of weeds in here and some little vinca flowers. I had some beautiful flowers planted in here and they've gone to seed, and so they're sprouting. I think I'm going to take some of those out and up pot them so I can plant them in other places and get a few of those weeds. Okay. This is just a little mini hand cultivator tool. I'm going to get some weeds out with that, but first I'm going to get out these pretty flowers. I did go and get some potting soil and I've pre-moistened it. I'm just going to pick these biggest ones here. Vincas don't like to be moved, but if you get them when they're tiny, you stand a chance of repotting them. And I'm just going to plant them down in here. Then when I'm done, I'm going to take this little mini cultivator and get the weeds. Okay, I have filled 10 little pots with those pretty flowers, and I think that's enough. Garlics and onions are all in the same family, the allium family, and so I'm going to go back and I'm going to fertilize the onions and the leeks just like I did the garlic. Y'all, the strawberry's so good. That's good. It was a nice breakfast. While we're on this side of the garden, let's check out the potatoes and the tomatoes. These are the potatoes that I put in the Ruth Stoud garden bed method, where I just put down cardboard and I put down a bunch of hay and I let it sit a little while. Then I put a couple of scoops of compost on it, planted the sprouted potato, and covered it with hay. I want to see what's going on under there, don't you? Let's see, I'm going to pull this hay back. This right here is the seed potato. And this is the one that we planted, and it's got a new sprout coming here. It's got several sprouts coming off of it. And I want to look around. I don't want to disturb it too much. I'll look around, see if I see any other little potatoes yet. It's not a little potato. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. Can you see that right here? That's a new potato. It's working. Oh my gosh, guys, it's working. We've got a new potato. Look under here. It's the seed potato, and that's the new potato. I am so excited. I'm going to push this bit of compost back on there and cover everything back up with the hay. We don't want sun getting on our potatoes because we don't want them to turn green and toxic. They need to grow in the dark. Yay! I'm so excited. I don't think I've shown you guys this. This is my green stalk planter, and this is the leaf one. It's not the original one. So it does have shorter little areas there to plant in. The original gives you much more space for roots. But look at this. These are jade bush beans. And we've already got some beans. And if you haven't watched my video, Garden Hacks to Save Your Back, let's add this to the list. No bending over. You just reach over, whoops, pick a green bean. That's awesome. On to the tomatoes. Okay, here's that row of tomatoes. Let me sit you right here. You can see it. This is that row of tomatoes that I started from suckers when I pruned the last winter crop of tomatoes. And they're doing really well. This is also just some regular old fencing. I think I got a 100-foot roll for $100. And it does very well for trellising if you can't get cattle panels. We've got some fruit set coming on here. And this one's going to be funky. Look at there. That one's going to be funky. I think I'm going to pull him off just because that looks like several blossoms together. 2 or 3. I'm just going to pull him off. The plant can use its energy to grow some better fruit. I'm using these tomato clips here I got on Amazon. I got a huge bag for not very much money at all. And I'll put a link in the description below for those. They're really, really simple. You just clip it around and snap it. Whenever you're done, you can press this little thing down and reuse it. And we've got some fruit set going on here. Lovely, lovely. I got this tomato cage at Tractor Supply. The man there was an avid gardener, and he said these hold up his beefsteak tomatoes well. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to take his word for it and try. These were like $8, $8.99 at Tractor Supply. So, this is my beefsteak tomato plant. Squish the pot, get it out of there. On this tomato plant, there's all these fine hairs. I'm not sure if you can see them. Every one of those hairs wants to become a root. Every part of this tomato plant wants to become a root. Tomatoes grown in the wild will flop over and they'll root all along their stem and shoot up suckers so that they can become the biggest plant they can, so that they can produce the most fruit they can and produce the most seed to replicate. As in Genesis, it says, let them all reproduce after their own kind, and that's what it wants to do. So I'm going to just snip these off all along the bottom. There's a tiny little sucker already trying to grow in that notch. No. And I'm going to leave that much. I'm going to bury that plant up to here. I'm also going to use the Jessica Sowers from Roots and Refuge method of putting an egg in the bottom of the hole and crack that. I'm going to bring you guys over here so you can watch me plant this. If you're interested, the fertilizer that I used on those tomatoes is this Expert Gardener Organics vegetable and tomato. It's a 356, and I got this at Walmart for a little less than $5. What I really liked about it was this little statement they make up here, and it says enhanced with beneficial microbes. If you're going to grow food, you need to grow your soil as well. Microbes are really good. Anything you can do to enhance the microbes, the microbiome in the soil, is that little microscopic amazing life that's in there. And I have pretty poor soil where I planted those tomatoes because that's the first time garden. I have brought in some compost and amended it, but it's still pretty sandy, still pretty. So I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure those tomatoes can have their best life. coming up is going to be pretty intense. So I'm just going to leave that shade cloth. It's like a 40% shade cloth I bought on Amazon for 10 or 12 bucks. I'm going to leave that on them for a few days, just so our South Florida sun doesn't scorch them too bad while they're trying to get established. Now, I bought this on Amazon for $67, and I was going to show you guys and do a whole video on it. And then I saw that Jess from Roots and Refuge bought one twice as big on Amazon for $67. And I thought, well, hers is probably a better deal. I bought this thinking that, you know, I've hanged some shade cloth in it, and it'll give me a nice little place outdoors where I can start some seeds. Let's see what's going on in the greenhouse. So in this tray, I've got some peppers, some Lycee peppers and some California bell peppers, some California Wonder Bell. These are snack peppers. I was at my mom and dad's and they had a bag of snack peppers from the grocery store, and I took a yellow one and a red one and saved the seeds, and that's those. Over here I've got some queen lime zinnias, some cosmos, echinacea, borage, basil, Thai basil, lemon balm, and another kind of zinnia. It's going to be a pretty burgundy colored zinnia. Now I'm trying the lemon balm, echinacea, and the borage and the cosmos for the first time here, and I'm not sure how they're going to do in the heat of our late spring and early summer, but I figured it was worth a shot. I do know that the zinnias are going to be gorgeous and beautiful, fill the garden with so much wonderful goodness, and I know the peppers are going to do well as well. I think that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed just piddling around the garden with me, and come back and see me soon. Bye.